peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. You know what I'm saying? Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now, I want to bring up a movie that y'all should check out called Mr. Nobody. As a matter of fact, a little spoiler alert because I'm going to get a little bit into it, but just want to explain the basis of it and just really want to tell y'all to go check it out. But matter of fact, especially, if you're into the conscious movie, stuff like that. But if you're watching my channel, 9 times out of 10, but I still like to because I know new people are coming in daily, you know what I'm saying? Ah, that feel good to say that. New people subscribing daily. It's a blessing. Um, anyway, want to watch the movie Mr. Nobody. I caught it on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's the internet age. You could probably look it up and rent it off of YouTube or Netflix, whatever the case may be. But it's Mr. Nobody is the name of it. I think it came out in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. And it's basically the plot of it is a man was he's the last mortal, the last living mortal on Earth. You know what I'm saying? Now Earth is filled with people that somehow they done found a way to be immortal in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So everybody else immortals, and he is the last mortal, and they treating his life like a little reality show. Where they watching him and like, he is the last mortal, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Watch him in the hospital. Because matter of fact, one point he stuck the finger at him. And I think I did say spoiler alert, so I'm about to. But anyway, he's basically getting interviewed and giving a recollection of his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Was deep about it. He gives a recollection starting way from picking his parents coming from from the astral planes. You know what I'm saying? What some people may call heaven or whatever the case may be. But he was picking his parents from the astral planes. As a matter of fact, the book by Dwayne Dwyer. Matter of fact, he co-wrote it with somebody else, but which is just recollections of kids, but memories of heaven. You should go get that book, check it out. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same type of thing where references of little kids talking about, remembering picking their parents and, remember being with angels before they came down to earth and stuff like this, and you know, remembering like pointing up and saying that's home, stuff like that. But anyway, as he's getting interviewed, and matter of fact, he's like 100 and something, in the year, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he just woke up, you know what I'm saying? And basically, wondering, like thinking he's still 30, wondering where he's at, stuff like this. But, they end up putting him in the hospital, and like I said, he's running it about remembering being a little like how he referenced it like a 9-year or 5-year-old kid. It's like I remember being a 5-year-old kid, all of us. Talking about all the souls. You know what I'm saying? Of different ethnicities or different pigmentations of color. You know what I'm saying? And it had angels come in. You know what I'm saying? And it was like before we pick our parents, stuff like that, the angels will come in and whenever they come up to you and do like this, it was, picking you to send you down and also, send you down to earth. And also like the little putting the little clip thing in your lip. But as it was also symbolic to like bring you down with no memories. So when you go to earth, you won't have memories, you know what I'm saying, of the situation, you know what I'm saying? You won't remember everything. But when the angels was going, and then they skipped over Mr. Nemo Nobody as he was telling the story. It's like, but the angels skipped over me, and I don't know if he referenced it as heaven or astral planes, whatever. But it's like they skipped over me, so he didn't get, so he came down with memories and remembering that he was sent down as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause matter of fact, he had referenced like to always be that little kid inside, like at some last, like a little conclusion at the end of the movie, like it's like this is some advice, like just always remember to be that little kid, that picked the parent, you know what I'm saying, be that for eternity, because when he asks, he's like, I'm still that that 5-year-old kid, but also, then this where the movie get deep, and this where I don't even want to dive too deep into it because it trickles off in so many directions. You know what I'm saying? But basically, it shows you how like how this what we call reality is a matrix, and the different dimensions of it is the paths that you may actually physically take, and the past were in different dimensions, like what if you would have made this decision, what if you would have married this person, what if you wouldn't have walked in the street when this happened, you know what I'm saying, almost like the butterfly effect type of situation. That's what was kind of going on in the movie. So it had alternate realities, but that all, matter of fact, that all cross connected into one, where his the per him himself in one reality came across himself from the other reality, like they all were interchanging, you know what I'm saying. And it gets deep, like I said, and it's about like a 2 hour movie, but it really dives into like the different dimensions, and how even though you may have this, you know, physical reality, you know what I'm saying, that you feel you live, you know, walking, talking every day, you do have the alternate dimension, alternate dimensions and alternate realities that's also going on simultaneously with this physical one. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this movie right here is for the, you know, for my people who in there deep and, you know, gotta live. Because if you don't really understand, and be real with you, even though you may not understand, you're still, I think you still vibe with it. Because it also has that Matrix type of aspect of, you know, like I say, knowing that this is a reality that you control, you know what I'm saying? And another thing too, where he had like three different women in his life that he kind of simultaneously, you know, in the different dimensions, you know, came across. And it was funny because the last wife he had, you know, quote unquote, he didn't have a good relationship with her because he was so thrown off from having and living in those different dimensions with the first two, the previous two, that he almost was like in dementia where he didn't know what was reality and what wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a bad DMT trip. Cause that was another thing that movie kind of resonated with me. I'm like, damn, like this is like a fucking, you know, almost seemed like the afterlife, like what he was creating. You know what I'm saying? Which reality, the afterlife, they about one and the same. But that I don't want to dive too deep on y'all. But anyway, you know, he when he got to his last, you know, the last wife or whatever, he ain't like he was just lost. Like she like crying because like you don't give me no energy, this and that. And matter of fact, he calling her other names. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of he getting old, and he got to that point where you know playing in those different realms and dimensions. You know, he just he wasn't there with her. You know what I'm saying? He even picked his life. He even showed how he manifests things. He was like, I'm on a big house. I want this kind of wife, this, that, this, and that. And then when he got the life, you know what I'm saying, he was bored with it. You know, it was also showing you those type of lessons too. Like I said, he explained in his life, starting from coming down from the astral planes, and matter of fact, I could point up, but you know, coming down from the astral planes and picking your parents. And matter of fact, and he had dual reality starting from there, where his parents end up, you know, separating, and then he had a reality where he went with his dad, and a different reality when he went with his mom. And he met a different chick when he went with his dad, different chick when he went with his mom. You know what I'm saying? The movie playing out all these different dimensions and realities at the same time. So it's definitely a good movie that y'all should go check out. You know, but Mr. Nobody, Nemo Nobody, good little movie on Netflix, but it definitely kind of shows you. As a matter of fact, from where different lifetimes, or maybe like well showing you where you possibly may have came across yourself. Like real talk, like these movies is to expand our consciousness, to let us know, excuse me, that nothing is impossible. That you know that this reality is really like a matrix, and you control, you know, what happens, you know, in it. And there's different dimensions to it. You know what I'm saying? Different realities. But definitely check out that movie. It's a good movie if you want to, you know what I'm saying? Kind of on that level like Cloud Atlas, where you gotta kind of keep up with it and peep out the different stories and see how they intertwine. And but it makes great sense. And it's also like the butterfly effect too, where you see like certain actions and reactions that they might want it to change, or you know. So definitely check out that movie. Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. right now. Peace.